the world famous Rayo's, and you may not be able to get a reservation, but today you are going to teach us how to make your marinara sauce. Did I say it properly?
Marinara, yeah.
You're like, no, not at all.
Yeah, she did. No, it was pretty good.
So you guys now are selling your sauce.
So we can say yes to everybody.
So everyone can have it.
Experience Rayo's at home.
So I think everybody thinks that they know marinara sauce, tomato sauce, but what do you see as the mistakes that most people make?
The ingredients. They are the finest quality ingredients, starting from the tomatoes, which come from a very specific region of southern Italy, which is the San Marzano region, and Scafate, in fact, which is right there bordering San Marzano, to the olive oil, fresh onions, garlic, salt, pepper, oregano, and some basil. Good Italian cuisine is about the ingredients, and it's certainly not about covering up the ingredients. How can you mess with Mother Nature? You can't.
And one of the things that you do is you cook the sauce for an hour and a half, which is interesting. It's not, too little time, but it's not that, people have this concept of like, cook the sauce all day long. How do you end up in that time frame?
How we get to that time frame is solely based upon marinara sauce, because it's very simple, as you saw. It's very simple ingredients. There's 4 or 5 of them that go into making this. You can go beyond an hour and a half if you like a thicker sauce.
This is perfect.
Not so bad, huh?
No. So will you show us the secrets in the kitchen?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Okay, so now we're going to show you how to make the marinara sauce, which is pretty much the same formulation that we use for our sauces that you'll find in the supermarket under Rayo's Homemade. So what we're going to do is take a little saute pan, put it over a medium flame. Going to add some pure olive oil, about half a fingertip's worth. And we're going to let this warm up for just about a minute or so. Going to raise the flame a little bit. But the first thing that we're going to do is just throw in these cloves of garlic, which I smashed with my hand or a knife blade. And I'm going to throw them in here. And a great indicator of when it's time to throw the onions in, you'll start to see this garlic shimmer a little bit with the olive oil in the pan. That's going to let you know that the oil is at the right temperature to continue the steps of the cooking process. So now that we're here, just going to loosen this up a little bit. Now, believe it or not, this is pretty much all the garlic that you need. It's going to lend a lot of flavor. It's now marrying to the olive oil. And if you were to taste this oil right now, you would get a very strong garlic taste. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pull out some of that garlic taste by adding a little bit of sweetness with our diced onions. Basically what we're going to do here is sweat the diced onions and garlic together. I'm going to allow the onions to sweat out a little bit. And as they start to become transparent, we're then going to add our crushed tomatoes. Now I'm just going to lay the tomatoes in here. And now over a high flame, I'm going to start to stir it together. And as you can see, there's still some whole plums of tomatoes in there. As the cooking process continues, those will break down, and you'll start to see and get a sense of the consistency of the sauce and the thickness of it. Now, we're going to bring this to a bit of a boil. Then we're going to add some seasoning, and then we're going to let it simmer for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it's been about a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. And as you can see, we're starting to see the sauce boil. At this point, we're going to reduce the flame to medium. We're going to stir it and allow it to continue simmering without a cover. That's how it's going to reduce and start to gain its thickness and consistency. And you'll let it simmer for about an hour to an hour and a half, stirring occasionally. At this point in time, I like to add a little bit of seasoning to get a sense of a balance between the acidity of my tomatoes. And I'm simply just going to add some salt, just a touch, start to build the flavors. A little bit of black pepper. And again, stir it in. Now 15 minutes before this finishes, what we're going to do is add a little bit of dried oregano, a dash. As the sauce is finishing, you're going to add a little bit of fresh basil, rinsed, throw it in, and it will release its flavors and add that little extra dimension of flavor, freshness, Mother Earth to the sauce. It will cook, the flavors of the basil will actually cook out if you let it cook in the sauce too long. So it's something that you really want to do at the end, and it picks it right up and leaves a finishing high note, tone, and flavor to the sauce. Gives it a little bit freshness. Thank you so much for watching. And if you don't have time to do this at home, I recommend using our Marinara sauce. So please enjoy, and thank you for watching.